Who knows what evil lurks in the heart of games? The shadows know.
Good evening, viewers. Tonight's Let's Compare video will feature the Great Giana Sisters, a pretty blatant Super Mario ripoff. So let's start with the Commodore 64 version, and then I'll play the Atari ST version and the Amiga version. Oh well, keyboard. As I said, it's a pretty blatant Super Mario ripoff. But it plays very well. It looks very nice for a Commodore 64, it controls great. And since we didn't have any Super Mario on the Commodore 64, why not play Giana Sisters instead of Mario Brothers? They even said the brothers are history on the cover of the UK version, so no wonder Nintendo got a little pissed about the game. But I don't care about Nintendo, and I really like this game. I played it a lot as a kid on the Amiga. It has real great playability. Controls are very precise, so if you die, it's not the game's fault, it's your fault. And I'll try. I just tried to turn down the volume a little. The remote doesn't seem to work at the moment. And I just died. And yeah, you die on any contact with an enemy, even with all the power-ups, so not like in Super Mario, where you just shrink from Big Mario to Small Mario. Ah, come on. Was there more up there? Okay. Damn! Okay. Anyway, that was the Commodore 64 version of the Great Giana Sisters. So, let's see how the 16-bit versions compare. Okay, let's continue with the Atari version. We have the same music. The selection screen is also quite similar to the Commodore 64. I think you had to press 1 or 2 on the C64, and here you have to press the joystick left or right for 1 or 2 players. That's the same scheme as on the Amiga. You'll see later. So now let's play. And that's a great feature. You have to press the fire button to start the game. Oh, what's that? What the fuck? Well, I know, and you probably also know, that the ST doesn't have any hardware scrolling, so yeah, I didn't expect especially soft scrolling, but I really did not expect a flip screen game. That's ridiculous and unnecessary, because sure, there was no hardware scrolling on the ST, but the ST was fast enough to handle scrolling in software, at least with such a simple game as Giana Sisters. Well, come on, there's 2 sprites on the screen that have to be software, and there's some background music, and it has a sound chip. It's not that it has to play tons of digi sounds or something like that. So I think the programmers just were lazy or didn't like the ST. But if you can live with the flip screen, it's actually not that bad. Let me test something. Yeah. And yeah, you bounce back a little from the opponents. That's something you don't have on the Commodore 64 version. But it's also in the Amiga version, so I don't know why the Commodore 64 version didn't have it. It was pretty irritating because the first Giana version I played back then was the Amiga version, and I initially thought the Commodore 64 version I played was broken because Giana didn't bounce back from the opponent. Well, the level design is exactly like the Commodore 64. So let's see if I make it this time. Yeah. Come on. Okay, I think you get the point. So let's continue with the Amiga version. Okay, finally the Amiga version. You've got this pretty interlaced title screen and a pretty neat version of the title tune. And yeah, the select screen scrolls much slower than the ST version, and it's pretty smooth. So let's see how the game is, and yeah, it loads each level. So this is the version I played as a kid. It has smooth scrolling, and if I see it correctly, even parallax scrolling, so the clouds scroll a little bit slower than the rest of the screen. That's nice. And yeah, controls are perfect. some people say the Amiga version is a bad version because it doesn't utilize the special graphics features and so on from the Amiga, but hey, it plays great. I don't think it looks bad. It's not great graphics, but smooth scrolling, great playability, great controls. So why is it a bad game? Just because it doesn't use overly good graphics. The soundtrack is okay, the sound effects are okay, control is perfect, level design is the same in all three versions. But I think this version plays best. Yeah, and I made it again. So, if I have to choose which version of Giana Sisters I want to play, I'll definitely choose the Amiga version. Not only because I played it as a kid, just because it plays the best, it looks the best, even though it might have looked better on the Amiga, but it's quite an early Amiga game. So the Amiga market wasn't that big at the time, and compared to both other versions, it definitely plays the best. The Commodore 64 version is close, and if the Atari version did have scrolling, it would also be a great game. But with the flip screen, I think that's not a good idea. But with the flip screen, yeah, that does it for me. So, thanks for watching and have a good night.